Hey guys, Bunny here, and welcome to Eliza, Chapter 3, Episode 1, I guess. So, when we last left off, we just started our talk with Raina, trying to figure out, what was really happening with that. So let's see how it works out. I'm assuming he's asking me for, consider returning to your old employer to become a programmer once again, I guess. I still don't really know what happened, but I'm going to assume that she has a good reason for it. So I'll say, I really doubt I'll do that, Raina.
I really doubt I'll do that, Rainer.
Well, don't worry about making a decision now. One more thing. You should go down and see Eliza for yourself. Sarah will show you the way.
Raina hands me a blue badge with my name and picture on it. This is my old employee badge. He held on to this?
This will get you through the doors. I've instructed the staff to treat you like an employee. Come and go as you like. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how much your creation has grown.
So he's been planning this, is what's happening. Raina leaves me alone in the conference room by myself. This company, Skanda. Gah! You okay? Hey, I'm really happy that you came to the show. I'm glad I went. She's gonna be like, Soren, fucking Soren, you know? I know it's not like a usual scene, so I'm extra happy about it. It was weird that Soren wanted to go to. Maybe he was thinking he could impress you somehow. It was so funny seeing him here. He seemed to be enjoying himself though. I don't know why he wants me to join this startup so badly. Or do you think he's just being a creep? Maybe. Say maybe. Or he wants a woman co-founder as a kind of insulation. See why I'm glad I left that behind? I don't even want to think about that kind of thing anymore. I really love to make machines do things, but not in that style of environment. I'm sure he's asking you to, no? Asking you to, no? He's talking to everybody. Yeah, he is. Raina also found me, which is interesting. I like that Nora's like my psychiatrist in this sense. That was fast. Do you want you to back at Skanda? Yeah. Yeah, you did. I figured. This is maybe an odd question, but why don't you go into business for yourself as a contractor? You could even start your own company. I'm not really a business person. You could just be someone who does some consulting. I do that sometimes. It's pretty good. I like the flexibility. Come into some place, solve a specific problem, leave. Anyway, it's just a thought. I had to think about it. You'll come over soon, right? Yeah. Excellent. I'm looking forward to it. Things to look at. Glasses. This is fresh. Must be someone's full-time job to take care of the water in every conference room. Tech companies are really in their own universe. Pencils and paper. I read that some tech executives avoid using tablets and smartphones these days. Even the ones their own company makes. It's kind of weird. I mean, some people think that it's like better to use pen and paper. I don't think that it's that much different. I don't know. I think writing down notes is better on pen and paper, but if you're like saving notes specifically, paper is not a good idea because you'll lose it, can't find it. Whereas with the pad, you just go like, search up this, find meeting at this time and you'll go easy. Giving presentations, leading meetings. I used to do those things. I wasn't bad at it, in fact. Could I become that person again? I don't see that in this person. She seems very like, I don't know, like shy, I guess. So the fact that she also leads meetings is strange to me. Cookies in the kitchen, yay. Some of you already found them, I see. There's banana bread too. What should I make next? Nice. Nice. I like this person. Okay, we got a new quote. What does a fulfilled life look like? Definitely not Levelins. Continue. Finally, Raina's assistant returns and escorts me from the conference room. We enter an elevator, and it begins going down extremely fast. It feels like we're falling into the depths of the earth. I'm not sure if I should be panicking or not. Nobody around us looks worried though, so this must be normal. The elevator opens onto a nondescript hallway with doors to either side. Looks like the secret research facility in a movie. That has always been like a cool, I don't know. That's been a cool like concept of mine that I always like the idea of, where like rich people, I guess, they'll have like a skyscraper in the city, right? And you'll be like, okay, there's this skyscraper, and then you'll think like, okay, they have like a warehouse somewhere else where all the stuff gets shipped and created in like China and distributed back, kind of thing. How cool would it be if it was just one building and just like the skyscraper was like essentially the visual portion of it, where you have the interviews and all that kind of thing, and then when you get down to the nitty gritty stuff, you just go past the basement level and there's like a underground facility where everything else is done. Like, how cool would that be? At the very end of the corridor, we come to a special looking entryway. Sarah holds the door open for me but doesn't follow me through. The server farm. A server farm? Not particularly unusual. Why did Raina send me here? He made it sound like I would learn something.
Eliza.
Eliza.
Not the name I would have given you, if it were up to me.
What would you have given it?
It was a marketing
the
decision.
dude?
They thought there might be some recognition or resonance with the old version.
Oh, you startled me a bit.
You startled me a bit.
Oh, I should have introduced myself. Sorry about that. I'm Erland, currently the chief engineer here, but that's probably going to be temporary.
Chief engineer? He looks like a baby. He must be fresh out of university. Is it going to remind her of the person I reckon she was dating?
I know who you are, of course. It's an honor to finally meet you, miss. As someone who works with this program every day, I've often felt close to the minds who originally designed it. So to be able to talk to you now, just as another person, it's an honor. Sorry, I already said that. I'm maybe a little overwhelmed.
It's nice. No need to flatter me about it, I guess.
Flatter me about it. Honestly, I don't know if Eliza reflects me at all anymore. I mean, look at all this. There's been a ton of development since I left. I doubt I would even recognize it as something I once worked on.
I'm not so sure about that. Most of the work we've done has been in the form of layers on top of the original system. The core modules are more or less the same as they've always been. Raina reminded me that you're still subject to our non-disclosure agreements, so let me share a little secret. None of us really has a great understanding of what's going on in there. I'm the third chief engineer Eliza's had in the 3 years since you left.
That's
and Evelyn's like...
turnover.
Evelyn's like built this thing that basically runs itself, and they
Even
have no idea how to read this code anymore because the computer's...
The way Rainer works is, he gives you 2 chances to do what you tell him you're going to do. After that...
There is no third chance. I know.
We get these people in who say understanding Eliza will be easy because they're familiar with the type of program it is. And Eliza defeats them in the end.
Yeah, overconfidence is a good predictor of failure.
Overconfidence is a good predictor of failure.
Yeah. On that note, I do have some questions I'd like to ask you, if you have the time.
I'm not sure I'll be able to help.
Well, your deciding to work as a proxy has turned out to be an interesting test case. As I'm sure you know, different proxies lead to slightly different client outcomes, even when we control for other variables. We're studying the specific traits that lead to the best results. Vocal qualities, proxy attitude and affect, responsiveness to the client, that sort of thing. One thing that's strange is that when you specifically serve as the proxy, clients report higher levels of satisfaction, pretty much across the board.
Do you think that Evelyn...
Really? The ratings I get don't seem that abnormal to me.
Yeah, that's because we normalize them per proxy, so nobody feels too bad.
Interesting.
Just a little user experience trick.
Oh, I see.
Comparatively, though, you're basically the best proxy we've ever had. Any theories on why that might be the case?
I mean, yeah, if you designed something to think, chances are you're going to be designing it to think in the way you think, because you can't physically figure out how other people think.
It's possible Eliza and I think along similar lines.
It's not possible, it's most likely
I've
case.
considered that. At some level, perhaps unconsciously, your design for Eliza's reasoning was based on your own internal way of reasoning. We all put something of ourselves
Unconsciously,
into
you
what we
can't...
make. No matter how neutral we try to be, it sneaks in.
Like, even psychiatrists, like full-on just psychiatrists, don't really understand the brain. They can make assumptions based on people, and like that usually helps them, but like that's never a case for everyone. You know, you can't think everyone thinks differently, right? That's why people have different responses to different things. That's why we've got people who, you know, start wars versus people who don't. Like, everyone's going to have a different reaction to the exact same stimuli based on what they've learned, based on how like they've been taught to think by other people, and it's always going to be different. Or like, you know, there might be some similarities, but like you also can't tell someone how to think. You can copy someone's mannerisms, you can copy like a moral compass that someone else has kind of made, but the actual way to think, which is what the most important part of an AI, the only way you're going to be able to code it is by yourself, like using your brain as your kind of schematic. If, like, say 10 people are coding it, it'll be a little piece of each of them, that's for sure. But you know, it's, I don't know, because like when you're coding, you're giving them a set of instructions, very, very specific instructions. So those instructions are gonna be based entirely on your brain, because you're gonna be like, how am I thinking about this? And then you're gonna be telling something else to think exactly the way you want it to think.
That could account for your unusual compatibility with each other.
Maybe. I certainly wasn't thinking of that when I designed it. I don't know if I like knowing this.
I'm certainly not blaming you for anything. It's just that true universality is one of our future development goals. It might be a problem if Eliza tends to like certain people more than others. Our aim is to provide quality care for everyone, regardless of any differentiating factors.
It's a good goal. Also,
It's a
probably
good
not
goal.
possible.
I hope you can achieve it.
I think we can. Hopefully it's just a matter of uncovering the system's biases and correcting them.
Yeah, you're right. Am I too far away from my microphone? Do I have to get that closer? I'll get closer to you. How about that? Is that better?
We'll keep tuning things as we go, and eventually we'll have something universal. Maybe with some dynamic layers on top. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes.
I like Erlen.
There are more
He's
questions
adorable.
I want to ask. About the initial research you were doing at the time Eliza was first created, but I'll save them for later. And I'd like to ask some questions about Damien too. If you're okay with that. I'll understand if that's a sensitive topic.
Oh? It's okay.
It's okay.
I would
Okay.
like to learn.
Great. I need to run to a meeting
What
now with the
Damien's
team in
doing.
Romania, but I really appreciate you taking the time.
The team in Romania.
It's
Yeah.
a Romanian team.
They handle most of the progression and reward system.
Isn't there a big time difference from here?
There is. Sometimes they stay up late to meet with us, and sometimes we get up early to meet with them. There are teams in Munich and Hyderabad too. As you can imagine, coordinating development is a challenge sometimes.
Yeah, that would be... I mean, I just have issues scheduling recording sessions with one person from America, because it's very hard to just go like, okay, we gotta get there at the exact same time, but you know, we're in different time zones, so we make mistakes, or like we have to go out of our time zone to meet up, you know? Okay, development is a challenge sometimes. I guess it sounds like a pain, because like it
Sounds
is.
like a pain.
No, it's...
My background's
fun.
gonna be so shit today. I really gotta find a way to fix that. I might put like a black fabric behind it.
I'll contact you
I don't
later
know.
with additional questions, but no rush or anything. Thank you, Evelyn. If you don't mind me calling you by your first name.
Is her last name Eliza?
Of course I don't mind.
Thank you so much, Evelyn.
Asking permission to call me by my first name? It's like he comes from another era. Okay. Interesting. Skandar. Humanity's potential. Our technology. Don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Yeah. Quite vague. Erlen said the program hasn't changed much since I worked on it, but then why do they need all this? Well, that'd be... Well, is this Eliza? Like, is this for server farm Eliza? Because like Eliza would need to hold a lot of information, right? They need to have client information. They would need to analyze the client information and store relevant details to be used in Eliza's main analysis to push that on. And that's got, like, that should be Evelyn's design, right? As the initial AI, you should be storing the client's information and like fixing it. So that means that all they had was more clients, right? Is it just for data throughput and processing? Well, yeah. There's so many clients. You're the only name in artificial intelligence psychiatry. Surely you're going to have a lot of customers, right? And you're analyzing so much data versus one person. Like, you're analyzing voice patterns, so you're recording audio. You're analyzing facial changes, which is a video analysis. There's heart rates, which, well, yeah, it's a number, and number goes out and stuff. It's still like you're analyzing like maybe a 30-minute session of someone's heart rate. What else was? You're actually, firstly, you're also turning voice into text, analyzing negative and positive feedback on the text, as well as the vocal patterns, right? I can't imagine the size of the team you need to run something like this. Bigger than any team I've been on, that's certain. And Erlen is in charge of all of them? And he's a small child? What? I think I spent enough time here. Yeah, you're right. Well, I'm right. I said continue. Skunda hasn't changed much since I left. It's even bigger now than it was, but the feeling is the same. Could I come back to this? Dunno. Ray comes over immediately when she sees me get back to the counseling office.
Hey, you're not in trouble or anything, are you? I just saw you being whisked away in a Skanda car toward headquarters. They didn't give me any details, which is kind of unusual.
You think she's going to say at some point and Ray's going to be so confused? Ray's too perceptive for me to continue avoiding this conversation. Time to come clean. Exactly
Yeah,
how I...
About that. So I have something to tell you. I used to work here. I mean, at Skanda, as an engineer. I used to work on Eliza. I'm sorry for not saying it earlier, but...
Didn't want special treatment?
I didn't want special treatment.
Oh, so that's why...
Why what?
I suspected something was going on with you, but I couldn't tell exactly what it was. I thought I might have seen a name like yours in our internal documentation at one point, but I didn't want to pry. If you've fallen on hard times, I understand. There's no shame in it. Everyone has to make ends meet now and then. We get plenty of people who come to Eliza proxy work because they're trying to get back on their feet after some kind of trouble.
That's
not far off.
so far off, yeah.
I understand.
I assume.
Your secret safe.
She says she's doing research, but like... The fact that she's trying to avoid Eliza so... Well, the coding part of Eliza so strongly makes me think there's probably something that's gone down.
Shouldn't it be? The other proxies here might think you had an ulterior motive for being here. Spying on them or something.
That's definitely not why I'm here. Also, I left Skanda quite a while ago.
I know that, but they might still get the idea. Trust me, it's better not to give the other proxies here any reason to be suspicious.
I wonder if we're going to meet any other
I'm
proxies.
sure your real reasons are good ones, whatever they might be. If there's anything I can do to help, you'll let me know, won't you?
Yeah, I will.
I mean, I get it. I know someone who's an engineer for a food delivery app, and he drives for it sometimes too. You want to see through the eyes of your users, don't you? It's amazing what you can catch by doing that.
You're right.
It's something like that. But, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to work on the Eliza program again.
Wait, no? But that's your career.
It was. I'm not even sure if I have a career anymore.
Oh, hang on, I just thought of something. That means you worked with Raynor, right?
No.
A little bit. For most of the time I was at Skanda, he wasn't anyone I spoke to, though. Too high up the chain, doing his executive stuff. He got more involved when we were starting to commercialize the technology, but I left not long after that. So, we only overlapped for a short time.
But that's so cool, though! I can't believe you actually worked with Raynor Sai.
Well, yeah. I'm not sure it's that impressive.
Ray lowers her gaze at
I
me.
worked for this company for 3 years. Do you think he knows my name? Do you think he's aware I exist?
I guess that makes sense.
I worked on the very first Eliza deployment and managed 3 counseling centers today, and I'll bet you anything he has no idea who I am.
Maybe he does. You never know.
Evelyn, most people who work for big companies don't interact with the people at the top, ever. Allow yourself some pride.
I don't know why you should be proud of interacting with someone. I don't know, like going like, oh, I know the boss, you know? I feel like it's not a brag. Like maybe at some point you might get special treatment, but like that's bad. That's like you're trying to get something out of that, and like I don't know, knowing someone who created something isn't that important. Like I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of like, I guess it's the same mentality as like, oh, my favorite YouTuber messaged me kind of thing, but I don't know. I mean, like someone you look up to, I guess, which I think Ray probably looks up to Raina because she likes Eliza, is proud of Eliza and proud of her stuff in it. So maybe getting noticed is something she strives to do because she like kind of wants to feel good about herself. I guess I'll try.
I'll try.
Seriously, I think that's amazing. At least I'll always think you're cool. By the way, what are you up to tonight? Want to come over and help me bake cookies?
Yes. Wait. Did we? I still have no idea how chat works, right? We still have no idea about like the multiple choice kind of stuff. No, I don't think there's anything. I don't know. I haven't organized anything with her, so I guess.
Oh, sure.
Awesome. We'll have a little baking party. Now I can't wait to get in the kitchen tonight. Ah, there's nothing like the smell of fresh baked treats.
You're right. You're right, Ray. I was worried Ray would be mad at me for keeping a secret, but she wasn't at all. If anything, she warmed up to me quite a bit. I don't really understand why, though. It's hard to imagine there's anything cool about what I used to do. Yeah, again, it's not that it's like cool, it's that she is really into the company she's working for, and you were basically made the company. It's like, oh, you know, you've made something. Like, if you saw your favorite movie, if you saw your favorite movie director, right, you'd like come up to them and say thank you for making what you did, kind of thing. And that seems to be her response, right? Evelyn, it was wonderful to meet you, and thank you for allowing me to contact you to ask for questions. I'm not sure I said this in person, but I have to admit to be something of a fan of yours. Ever since I read your paper when I was in school, so I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak with you like this. So I know Eliza was named after this old computer program that pretended to be a therapist, but you mentioned it wasn't called that initially. I'd like to know, what did you call Eliza when you were working on it? Did it have a name? It wasn't a set thing in the very early days. Each of us had different names we used. Soren called it the Digital Therapy Project. And we often refer to things by their components. Language Processing Unit, the Emotional Reasoning Engine, and so on. Now that I think about it, I did have my own name. Called it the Listener. That's what it's meant to do. Listen to people. The Listener. That's interesting. Thank you. I expected you to ask more technical questions. Technical stuff isn't enough on its own. I think that's the mistake my predecessors made. It's details like this that really help me wrap my brain around the system. If I understand the programmer, then I understand the program. Does that make sense? Yeah. Again, when you're programming something, you're doing it with your own brain in mind. Like, how do you process things, and then you type that down onto a screen. So if you understand the program, you do understand the code a bit more. It's like writing, right? But a lot of people seem to do it as like a maths thing, which, you know, when you're into like heavy code, potentially it's a lot harder to differentiate the maths from the language. But for things like games programming specifically, probably less for the AI, but like I'm not sure what kind of scripts they use for that. Like how, like if they made their own processing system first off. The processing systems and stuff, probably less person to person, less that. But like when it comes to like games design, probably just like application design, looking at the stuff, you will see kind of like it's different for each person based on how they think, because you're using real words, you're using like your own kind of way of interpreting something. Chief engineer for Eliza, huh? Wonder how long he'll last. Not that it's any of my business now. Why did the phone call go off just as I go into the office? That's annoying. Okay, so when we come back to Eliza, we'll be meeting Mark Forrest. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment telling me if you enjoyed the episode, what you enjoyed about it, and if there are any other games you want me to, stream through, play through, record a one-off. It'll be fun. So I'll see you in the next one. Bunny out.